In today's video, we'll be covering the full, but sadly short tale of the pulmonary munching hero himself, Zombie Punisher. Yes, even our boy Frank Castle became a violent cannibal like most of the heroes and villains of this dimension after being infected with a mysterious virus. Unlike some of the other characters that we have covered, the Punisher did not appear in the Zombies episode of What If, due to Marvel not yet unveiling him in the MCU. I certainly hope they do soon though. Both Daredevil and Kingpin were recently revealed as canon, and I hope Castle follows suit. But only if we get him in his bloody gory like we got on the Netflix show. Nobody wants PG-13 Punisher. It just doesn't work. With the mystery surrounding the overall plot to the Marvel Zombie series coming to Disney+, I hope that Punisher somehow does make an appearance. Just something about our favorite vigilante marine mowing down hordes of zombies just checks all the boxes for me. Coming back to his comic variant, Zombie Punisher's tale is not as long as some of the others that we have covered, but it's still a thrilling, violent, and action-packed good time while it lasts. So without further ado, grab a coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the full gory story of Zombie Punisher. Who is he? Zombie Punisher is one of many Marvel heroes infected with a multiversal virus that transformed him and countless others into intelligent, violent monsters. He made his first appearance in Marvel Zombies vs. Army of Darkness, issue number 2, back in 2007. He comes from Earth 2149, but his origins prior to the pandemic were very similar to his main universe counterpart from Earth 616. All of that changed, however, one dreadful day when Ash Williams from the Evil Dead movies was transported to this world after being smacked here by the zombified version of the Sentry at the gates of heaven. With Zombie Superman hot on his tail, Ash knew that he would need some superpowered assistance. He sought the help of the Avengers, but the mighty heroes thought the poor dude was nuts and had Spidey put him in a comfy little web sack and take him to the authorities. Thinking that was the end of their problems for the day, the gang then received a distress call of mysterious purple lightning gathering in the middle of Manhattan. Instead of it being a return of Prince, bringing an awesome live performance of Purple Rain, this purple lightning ended up being none other than Zombie Sentry, who made his grand entrance into this world. Would have much rather have been Prince. Miss you, King. Shocked to see that Ash was telling the truth, the Avengers could not act fast enough to stop the super zombie, who tore through them like piñatas, infecting them with the zombie virus. The freshly cannibalized Avengers then proceeded to rip into the horrified nearby citizens, devouring their sweet, uninfected flesh. Looking on in horror at his former friends having a bloody Thanksgiving feast in the streets below, Spider-Man tried to save who he could, but was quickly bitten by Zombie Colonel America, who pounced on top of the wall crawler from a nearby rooftop. The surprise chomp to the delt caused Spidey to drop Ash at the feet of some hungry supers, but was able to save him due to his spider powers keeping the infection at bay. Might want to put a little peroxide on that wound though, Spidey. Whew, that bite loose. That just looks nasty. He then swung Williams to a nearby rooftop, where he revealed that he was still human. But not before Ash sucker punched a webhead, thinking he was a zombie. Gotta respect Ash. He doesn't care who you are. Superhero, zombie, demon or not, he's throwing hands with everybody. Spidey then fixed his dislocated jaw and left Ash on the roof so he could check on his Aunt May and Mary Jane. Demanding for the dude to swing back and help him, Ash is then provided with much more violent assistance in the form of the Punisher, who approached him from behind. Frank Castle then complimented Ash on the awesome chainsaw that he was carrying around and asked what he was doing here. Williams then explained what had happened and that he needed someone to help him find the magical book called the Necronomicon, which would aid in battling these undead. The Punisher promised the groovy dude that he would help him find the artifact, but asked Ash to help him with a little house cleaning he had to do first. Bewildered at this, Ash asked Frank just what could be more important than a superpowered undead invasion. I'm curious too, bro. Please enlighten me. Castle then revealed just what this was when he led Ash to a nearby penthouse and blew off its doors. It is then revealed that Castle's target was not the penthouse doors, but the man within the penthouse doors, which was none other than Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Hammerhead then whipped out his firearm ready to dust the vigilante, only for Fisk to stop him, telling Castle that he was actually happy to see him. Man, Kingpin actually happy to see the Punisher? You know things are bad when this happens. Castle then tells the not-so-jolly Fat Man that he had been spying on him for a while now and used the distraction of the undead epidemic to sneak into Fisk's hideout, ready to end things once and for all. Blowing off this threat, Kingpin tells Frank to get over himself, and what was going on outside was much bigger than the petty feud going on between them. He offers the chance of an alliance between the pair, telling him that it was time to unite their power as humans versus zombie. Cool as this sounds, Punisher was in no mood to make any new friends, zombie apocalypse or not. He then proceeded to blow Fisk and his men away with his rifle, telling him that he never saw him as human in the first place. I know I mentioned this in the last video, but that's such a dope one-liner to end things with. Punisher is awesome. His show needs to come back like yesterday. Shocked at what he just witnessed, Ash told Frank that he thought he was one of the good guys. Like the true savage he was, Frank just kept on going and said that now it was time to go after the zombies. The pair then look out the window and see a terrified Blob running through the streets, who was quickly caught and devoured by the hungry heroes. Saying how fast things were spreading, Punisher knew that they were going to need the big guns for this one. He then retrieved his bag of heavy artillery, which he tossed to Ash. Telling him that he had enough firepower to level half of Manhattan, Castle then told Ash to hold his clips and toss them to him when he was empty. Knowing that just storming into a crowd of super zombies was crazy, Ash told Castle that he couldn't do this. Ignoring this plea, Frank burst through the doors of Fisk Tower, spraying bullets into the undead horde. My boy Punisher taking the war to the zombies. Let's go, baby! However, the savageness would soon end once Frank saw that his bullets didn't have much an effect on the superpowered cannibals. He then called out to Ash for an assist, only to discover that the dude bailed with his bag of guns. Poor Punisher is then jumped by the group of undead who devour the violent vigilante. Ash, we love you, we respect you, you're awesome, but that was not cool leaving our boy Frank Castle high and dry like that. What's wrong with you, man? Armed with Punisher's weapons, Ash later on allied himself with the uninfected X-Men Dazzler and Scarlet Witch. With the aid of an evil book in Doctor Strange's Santorum, the trio discovered that the Necronomicon that Ash was looking for was in Doctor Doom's country of Latveria. They then find their way to the Avengers Quinjet, which they fire up and fly to the mysterious country. Upon arrival, the three heroes come face to face with Doctor Doom, who revealed that he was actually harboring a huge number of surviving humans. He and his scientists were working on a multiversal portal that would allow these survivors to escape this hellish world into an alternate dimension. Hey, Dr. Doom for the win, baby. This dude isn't so bad now, is he? However, just before the heroes could breathe easy, they are then met with an army of undead heroes who discovered about the tasty leftovers that Doom had stashed at the castle. Doom security launched an assault on the undead, but as high-tech as they were no match for the overwhelming might of the superpowered Legion. Ash then booked it to Doom's library to find the evil book so he could use its power to give the survivors enough time to escape. In the chaos, he calls out to Scarlet Witch to help him, only to see that she had been jumped by a zombified Punisher who was somehow not completely eaten from his previous encounter with the zombies. Ripping out a huge chunk of Wanda's back, Castle swore to Ash that he would get him next as revenge for not helping him before. Man, out of all the Marvel Zombies panels, this has to be one of the most disgusting. This now makes John Bernthal's second time becoming a zombie. First the Shane in The Walking Dead, and now this. Dude just can't escape it. Not sticking around to get punished by Zombie Punisher, Ash then books it to the library where he encounters the Necronomicon. He uses its power to zombify the dead bodies left behind by the undead Avengers, who then storm the castle and go to war with the zombie heroes. Not being much of a match for the supers, it still gave Dr. Doom just enough time to get the survivors through the portal, which he then promptly destroyed. With the keys to the multiverse pulverized, the zombies eventually found themselves depressed and low on food. However, their day was quickly brightened once the Silver Surfer arrived to the planet. The Herald of Galactus came to the Earth to see if it was nourishment enough for his master. He is then quickly attacked by the zombies, and despite putting up a great fight, he has his head bitten off by the Hulk and was devoured by a group of Avengers. The boys who got a nibble of the Surfer's flesh then discovered that they inherited his powers after eating him. Seeing that they were now cosmic microwaves, these super zombies then use these abilities to heat and eat their fellow undead, Frank Castle presumably being one of them. And that is the full gory story of Zombie Punisher. It's not nearly as long or convoluted as some of the other stories that we have covered, but man, it's still a great time. Him blowing Fisk away like that is a standout moment out of the whole Marvel Zombie series for me. It would have been pretty cool if someone like Frank survived the ordeal and used his strategic mind and contingency plans to take down the supers. Castle's no stranger to taking out superheroes, so it would have been cool if the comics allowed him to flex this skill by taking out more of the zombies. Regardless though, I'm just glad the dude made an appearance and hope that we potentially get to see him in the upcoming Marvel Zombie show. More than anything though, I want to hear what you guys think. Did you know this about Zombie Punisher? Was there something I missed? What other comic characters should we cover? Sound off in the comments. Also be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed today's content, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you are awesome and loved. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.